Live by Live has all of your favorite music, and you can listen for free. Whether you hit play on one of our hundreds of curated music stations or create your own custom artist radio station, you'll find the music you love on Live by Live. Visit livexlive.com or search LiveX Live in the App Store or Google Play and listen for free now.
Darkcast Network. The light shines brightest on our indie podcasts.
Hi, this is Jenna.
And this is Kelly.
And you're listening to ODFM.
This episode is One Drag from Murder. Adriane Insogna, I-N-S-O-G-N-A, Insogna. Adriane, yes. She was 16 when she first cheated death. So she had been in a horrible car crash with her close friend Lily Prudhomme, and the car had rolled 3 times.
Oh, wow.
I know. Adriane had struck her head on the pavement through the open window.
Oh!
That scares me. Like, wah!
Wow.
But she was scrappy and tough, and she survived. Returned to high school with some memory loss, but it didn't hold her back. She healed.
That really sucks when you have finals.
Oh, damn. But it would be a really good excuse.
Right. Shit, I totally forgot everything we learned first semester, so I can't.
So, okay, you get a pass.
I'm such an asshole.
No, that would work. But she healed, and she got a scholarship to California Polytechnic State University.
Oh, wow. So she remembered enough.
She
did good. She did fine.
Quite well, yeah. So she became an engineer, and she's hired on by the city of Napa after graduating college.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah, didn't take her down too far.
Mm-mm.
So now it's 2004. Leslie,
wow.
Yeah. That's a wild name.
I thought you said it was the last names that were hard.
Apparently, all names are hard for me today. My tongue is like, nope, we're not talking. Okay, so it's 2004. Leslie Mazzara, one of Adriane's roommates, had just moved to Napa from South Carolina. And Adriane herself, she's quiet and studious with a small circle of friends. Leslie is totally opposite. She's extremely outgoing, charismatic, former beauty queen. And from the moment she arrived in Napa, she loved it. Like, this is where I want to be. So
awesome.
She walks into Francis Ford Coppola Winery to seek out work, and she's hired like on the spot because she's so charismatic and great. I know.
That
I'm like,
would
what?
never happen to me.
Me neither.
Wow. I'm impressed.
Yeah, but partly, she's super good looking, she's vivacious, and she's got a passion for life.
Wouldn't happen for me.
Yeah. So she's like a totally perfect fit for this job. So she's hired on the spot. Also, Leslie's super popular with the guys. I mean, she's a beauty queen. Of course she is. So she dated around a bit, looking for the perfect soulmate. An older gentleman was quite taken with her, and though she casually dated him, there was a younger chap she was taken with. Chap. So when the older man discovered flowers the young buck had given Leslie, he was furious. Yeah, not good.
He's not from the dating around generation, I take it.
No, he's like, you should just be with me. But friends of Leslie's described her as an unintentional heartbreaker. So that's kind of, she's super sweet and beautiful, and she makes everyone around her feel special. But like these guys.
So she's not a bitch, but.
No.
Maybe she gives them false hope?
Yes, I think that's exactly what it is. Which I was terrible at in college because I thought I was just being nice, but instead I should have probably been ruder. But,
Or forthcoming but me too.
It's hard. So anyway, Adriane, so at this time she's 26 and Leslie also 26. They take on another roommate so that they can afford the bills. I mean, it's Napa. It's not cheap.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. So this woman is named Laura Mianza. Whew. Each one of them have a crazy last name.
Yeah.
So Lauren is 27 and the other two are 26. So Lauren's a volleyball coach at the local community college. And all three women are just starting out their careers, looking forward to reaching their goals and supporting one another. They're all good friends. So
Cool.
sounds
Okay.
kind of fun. But, okay, so Halloween 2004.
Uh-oh.
I know. You start that out and it's like, oh, debauchery. And
This is a true crime podcast.
Yes, we know something. And Halloween, yeah. So it's Halloween 2004. Roommates spent the night handing out candy to bloodthirsty children. Wait, no. Okay, maybe they're candy thirsty.
What neighborhood did they live in? God.
What? Transylvania? What?
God. Bloodthirsty children.
Okay, I changed my
Sorry,
writing a little bit. Yeah.
That gives a new meaning. What do they call ankle biters when they use that as a name?
I thought that was
biters
chihuahuas.
that draw blood. Oh, I thought it was kids.
Maybe it's both, you know?
Maybe.
Yeah. So, okay, so they're not bloodthirsty kids. They're normal, I think.
Candy thirsty.
Yeah. I guess what I read didn't specify, so I guess they could have been ankle biters. I don't know.
You're right.
So by about 11 p.m., the trio turned in for the night. So they weren't going out and partying or anything.
Okay.
They're just like, all right, we're going to bed. Adriane and Leslie had upstairs bedrooms, while Lauren had the bedroom on the main floor.
Okay.
And it didn't totally specify. It could have been a basement, but from the sound of the story, I think it's probably main floor.
Okay. Okay.
But it's kind of crucial to things
God.
that she's not upstairs. So that night at around 1:30 or 2 in the morning, an outdoor security light on the house is tripped. And Leslie, she's the beauty queen.
Okay.
She's the one upstairs. She had a cat, and that cat would occasionally set off the light.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Right. Lauren, she's the one staying downstairs. It noticed it, and she didn't get worried because she's like, oh, it's probably friggin' Leslie's cat again.
Right.
But then her dog, Lauren's dog, Chloe, slept in the room with her.
Okay.
And Chloe began growling. And Lauren's like,
On Halloween.
Halloween, right. She's like, oh, it could just be kids, whatever. But
I know, but that to me, obviously, I'm instantly going to go poltergeist. Like, I'm
right.
not going to go
You're
rational
going full
kids.
force.
I'm
This
like,
is going to
it's
be
Halloween,
demon.
And the dog's growling. Obviously, something's here to. Yeah,
Obviously, Annabelle is here. Yes.
exactly.
But, she heard noises. But recently, some of the guys that Leslie's been dating have come over at night, and have a key. And so,
Night booty call.
yeah. So she was like, maybe it's just one of them. So she heard somebody walking through the house and go upstairs. So she quiets Chloe, the dog, and she begins drifting back to sleep. But then she starts hearing scuffling and like major something going on, like a fight, and then a blood-curdling scream. After which she hears Adriane yelling, oh my God, please help. In the darkness, Lauren jumped out of bed. She takes one step out of her bedroom, but then she's like frozen. She's so scared. She doesn't know what to do because she's hearing her screaming and shit.
Right.
She's like, what do I do? Then a man flies down the stairs. He doesn't see her, thankfully. She's kind of behind the staircase. He's knocking down shit as he's running in his attempt to get out. And then Lauren's like, fuck this, I'm out. She runs
Oh my
the
God.
opposite way. She's like,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
out. Runs the opposite way, but ends up in the backyard. And it's like surrounded by a 6-foot fence and no way out.
Oh, well, that's the problem.
So she just hides. She doesn't know what to do. She's hiding. She's not sure what's going on. She can hear the guy struggling with the kitchen blinds in the front of the house. And she can still hear Adriane pleading for help.
Oh, God.
I
Okay.
know.
Struggling with the blinds.
I
Now
know.
is not the time to be like head at the blinds. What is
Are
happening?
you dusting? I hate this guy.
Right?
Yes, he's a forceful duster.
Range?
So Lauren decided to face her fear, to run back inside to help her friends because she can hear Adriane just pleading, like crying, and she's, it's breaking
Where's
her heart.
her badass dog that was growling? Is that dog under the bed now? Like,
I know.
literally all bark and no bite? Like,
right. The dog's like, screw this, I'm under the bed. Bye. Go take care of
Hey,
yourselves, bitches.
I alerted you. My job's done.
Right. I told you something was wrong. She runs inside. She grabs the phone in the kitchen, but the line is dead. Shit. So she tries to quietly tiptoe up the stairs. She's not sure if this guy's still there, what's going on.
Oh, my God.
She's worried that he's went back upstairs, but she tiptoes up and she gets to Leslie's room. It's the closest to the stairs. She goes in there first, and the entire room is a Halloween horror scene. Horrible. Blood everywhere. The floor is absolutely bathed in blood. And Leslie's face down in a pile of clothes covered in stab wounds.
Oh, my God.
So then Lauren's like, oh, my God. But she can still hear Adriane next door in the room right next door. So she runs the few steps to Adriane's room. She finds Adriane crouched behind her bed, alive, moaning, but bleeding horribly from stab wounds all over, too. Oh, my God. So Lauren runs out to try to find a phone, slipping with her bare feet in the blood.
None of these girls have phones in their rooms?
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know.
We had our own phones in our rooms.
Right.
And a phone in...
Right. So I'm wondering if in her panic, she, maybe, left her room and ran out and didn't have her phone.
Okay.
So she's slipping on the blood pooling everywhere, trying to get out of there. Finds her cell phone, finally, and calls 911.
Oh, my God.
But she's still freaking out, not sure if the guy's in the house.
Yeah.
So she runs out of the house to her car, and she drives away while talking to the 911 call. She's like, I'm out.
Oh, my God.
Here's what happened. Help me,
She ain't go to, like, a neighbor or anything? She
just drives out. She's like, I'm out of here. Fuck this. So though Adriane was still clinging to life when Lauren had found her, she succumbed to her injuries and also passed away. And Leslie was very far passed away by the time.
Oh, God. Jeez.
Horrifying.
Oh, my God. I feel like I vaguely heard this story. I don't remember what happened, but I just feel like I remember something about 3 roommates and one they didn't know she was there or something, but I couldn't tell you anything else about it. So this is still a surprise.
Well, even if we had told it 2 seasons ago, it would still be a surprise to both of us. It would
still be a brand new story to me. We'd get to the end and go, wait a minute.
Sounds familiar.
Have we done this before?
That's funny because sometimes when I'm researching them, I'll do that and I'll be sitting there like, God, this sounds familiar. Is this just because I watched a show about it, or is it because we actually told a story about it? So I have to go back and look through our things. Oh, okay, yeah.
We haven't done that many episodes. Okay, we're not like Cold Case Files.
No.
This is pretty sad.
So bad. Middle-aged brain.
Oh, God. Okay.
So Napa, famous for its climate. I was going to say clients, but probably that as well. Right. I don't know. Famous for its climate and wines, as well as the celebrities that reside in the area or have their third homes tucked away in the valley, probably.
Oh, right, just the extra home, the third, the fourth.
Yeah. They have very few homicides or violence.
Everybody's happy there. There's no one disgruntled.
Right, because everyone's
pissed about
drinking wine all the time.
Everyone's chill.
Right. Everyone's chilling out. So the police are like, is this someone just passing through? Because this never happens here. Or is it an ex-lover? Because, 3 ladies, there's a lot of guys around. So they began their investigation with the bloody crime scene, and they determined from the bloodstains that the man had gone to Leslie's room first. And I'm not sure how they determined that, whether it's from his steps he took, because there was so much blood that you could see that he tracked through it.
So maybe there were only footprints going from the one room to the other, so obviously he would have started. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, there was something there, but
they figured it out somehow.
Specify, yeah. So he attacked Leslie first, probably while she was asleep, as it was evident she had been in bed when she was initially attacked. So, and that commotion likely woke Adriane, who then turned on her bedroom light and alerted the killer to her presence.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
She probably thought Leslie had a guy over, and she was like, for the love of God, it's like 2 a.m.
They did talk about that in some of the articles, and the lovemaking kept them up because Leslie, she had a lot of suitors, and yeah, she was adorable, and a girl's got needs. So,
right.
So he goes after Adriane next, and Adriane is a spitfire, and she puts up a massive fight.
Good for her.
Yes. So there's a huge struggle. Her room is just trash, and there is blood splatter from the ceiling to the carpet to the everywhere,
crap.
All over.
Tell me she got him.
Yes.
So
exactly. So police knew that the assailant had to have been injured because of confrontation was so violent. There's no way with a knife that you're not going to
Good.
stick yourself in that kind of violence. So
Hopefully not to the point of that one guy from like one of our first stories where he actually
killed
killed himself in the process.
Whoops. Yes.
Rule
No.
number 1 about being a serial killer. Don't kill yourself in the process.
Confuses everyone. Yeah. So, in fact, down the stairwell, blood had been smeared on the wall, probably from, he's stumbling down the stairs, knocking things down as he goes. So they're able to follow that blood trail, and it goes out the front kitchen window where he's dusting the blinds and even onto the siding of the house. So they know that's probably got his blood in it.
Why didn't he just use the front door?
I don't know. Like, that must have been his way in, but why did he decide?
So why didn't he? I don't know. That's weird.
That always makes me wonder, because it seems like that happens a lot. They think of that as their only way in and out with killers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The kitchen window.
The psychology. Yeah. Who knows? But outside, police found 3 cigarette butts. 2 were in front of the house and 1 was in the back of the house. So, of course, they ask all the roommates, who smokes? And they're like, none of us. So the police collect all the cigarette butts and the blood from the scene. Also, like, why would you leave your cigarette butts as somebody who's going to commit a crime?
Exactly. Like, if he was, like, checking things out from outside and all this, you think you would take that kind of evidence
You'd think.
with you.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, also outside the front window, the attacker had left out of it a wad of zip ties bound with a rubber band was laying on the ground.
Came prepared.
So he came prepared, but then they must have fallen out of his jacket or whatever when he's getting in the window.
Not
So
really
he's
prepared.
Like, whoops.
Partly prepared.
Yeah, I was gonna tie him up, but whoops, where'd my zip ties go?
Yeah. What happened to the tying up? It sounds like it went straight to the
Killing. Yeah.
killing. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we don't know what exactly his course of action was going to be there,
okay.
but that was all collected. And of course, they start interviewing Lauren, and police hang on every word. Said she's the only survivor. She's got to know something, right? So nothing had been stolen, and neither of the victims were sexually assaulted. So the motive is totally like, what the hell?
Okay.
And Lauren couldn't think of anyone that hated any of them enough to kill them. I mean, they're all pretty good friends, and they all know a lot of people around the area, but it's like, who would do something like this? So while evidence goes out for forensic testing, police interview anyone and everyone who even slightly had a connection to the 3. They collected 218 DNA samples from various people and interviewed more than 1,000 people. Some cases I heard it was like 1,500 people they interviewed.
What about the dog? Did they get any information from the dog?
They should have asked the dog. They should have gotten at that collar that's in up.
Up, right.
Yes. So he could, speak.
Right.
Speak.
But then he'd be like, so what I saw was there was this guy, squirrel. That would have been awesome, though.
That would have been great. That would have probably told it all. Actually, the dog was like, all I saw was underneath the bed. Because I wasn't
Then we could have had one dog for murder. But no, nobody asked the dog.
Nobody asked the dog. See if they'd only asked the dog. Okay, so they begin chasing down every shred of a lead they can get. So, for instance, the father of one of Leslie's former boyfriends had become obsessed with her.
Ew.
I know! He was...
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ew.
Problem for the son, too. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So he was constantly calling her and harassing her, and he had even tried to call the evening of the attack. However, I know, so gross. It's creepy. It's creepy. So when the police spoke with him and his son, they both had still been in South Carolina, and witnesses could place them there, so they're quickly ruled out. And then there was also
good that they were both there to be interviewed.
Creepy.
Yeah.
But, and then, I mean, there's so many little things they looked at. Like one was a handyman had worked on the women's house the day of the murders, but he's quickly ruled out.
Any house cleaners as he's going out the window? He's like, I missed these blinds. I'm just going to get them real quick on my way out.
Those stupid metal ones, they're terrible. So Leslie's computer was searched, and investigators found an email from another ex.
Good Lord.
I know this. She is popular. So the pair had broken up years earlier. He had proposed to her, and she had turned him down.
Oh.
So recently he reached back out shortly before the murder, and he was interviewed. Wasn't him. So then she had also received a car as a gift from yet another guy a month before death.
What?
Right? I've been doing it all wrong all my life. She got a car.
Wow. I thought flowers were huge. My bar was set way too low.
Mine too. So she gets this car. She'd also gone to a wedding in South Carolina recently, and when she returned to California, she came back toting luxury luggage that another admirer had given her.
Dude.
I know. She's making out like a bandit. So she had no shortage of admirers that may have had a beef with not being chosen.
Right, yeah.
All of those men provided DNA for testing, though, so that's good.
Okay, but none of them were
None matched. So as for Adriane, she had an on-again, off-again relationship with a man named Christian Lee. Christian Lee.
Okay.
I don't know. That just sounds Texan or something. She had wanted a serious commitment from him, but Christian wasn't ready. He kept kind of pushing her.
That wasn't the older guy, was it?
No. Oh,
okay.
No, this is the other roommate that was killed. So Leslie was the one that was the beauty queen. Adrian's the engineer.
Gotcha. Sorry.
So, yeah, no, I know it's confusing with three women. Lauren's the one that lived. Yeah.
Jesus. I'm gonna need a spreadsheet or something, please.
we need that with the strings behind us, so we can.
That's what I need. I'm having a problem here. Okay,
I know.
So,
if
Adriane,
photos help, I should hold up photos because when you see photos, you can remember. Adriane, had a relationship with Christian Lee, and he wanted a serious commitment. No, she wanted a serious commitment, but he didn't. And they had actually seen each other on Halloween. Adriane had gone to his place, and they had an argument. Turns out Adriane had recently been at a party, met another guy, which made Christian jealous, but he's the one
he didn't want a commitment.
So, yeah. And other than her relationship with Christian, Adriane's life was quiet. She didn't have the million suitors like Leslie.
Mm-hmm.
So she did have a close-knit group of friends like Lily, who was in the car wreck with her. So this is the girl that was in the car crash with her. She and Lily were still best friends and hung out constantly. She just had a close group. So I don't,
group. Okay.
2 weeks after the murders, a vigil was held for the victims, and the police got a break at the same time.
Oh.
Blood samples taken at the scene revealed DNA that didn't come from the roommates, so they were able to get DNA. And this is 2004, so they can pull it, and they can get good information. In fact, at this time, they did find out from the DNA it was a man, which helps.
Okay.
But this is the time when DNA was just starting with genealogy and being able to figure out all that kind of stuff. So DNA also came back from the cigarette butts found in the front of the house. And the same DNA was on the rubber band that held the zip ties together.
Okay.
So
they know it's somewhere.
All this for this one person.
Okay.
And all of that, of course, was entered into CODIS, but no matches found. So
no prior record, huh? Okay.
They start looking more deeply at the cigarette butts, and they notice there's an unusual pattern on them. There's gold crowns that are stamped around the band of it, and police working the case hadn't seen it before. They're like, I haven't seen this brand. What is this? So it ended up belonging to a newly released variety of Camel cigarettes known as Turkish Gold.
Turkish Gold. Maybe if you're going to commit a crime, you don't use very unique cigarettes.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Turkish Gold.
So these cigarettes had only been on the market for a super short time. In fact, maybe just a couple of weeks. And because they were so new, I know. And because they're so new, only a few stores in the area carried them. And of those that did, they had sold maybe only 1 or 2 packs so far. So that's very helpful. So they continued their investigation, and without any matches to the hundreds of DNA samples, the case began to stall. I didn't hear about the stores with the cigarette butts. Like, did they have surveillance video? But I'm guessing not, because that didn't come back in anything. So life continues on, and the investigation just is a standstill. Nobody can figure anything out. No one's coming forward. So Adriane's best friend, Lily, who'd been in the crash with her, had put off marrying her boyfriend, Eric Koppel, before the death. But after Adriane's death, she decided life's too short. I'm going to get married. I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm going to, after her friend went through this, she's like, I just need to do something. Carry on.
Like, yeah, they already had a near-death experience. Then the one actually does pass horribly. So, yeah.
So then she's like, okay, I'm just going to get married. Adriane's mother, Arlene, so Adriane's the one who had the car crash, but did die too later. She attended the wedding, and in honor of Adriane, her favorite song, She Will Be Loved, was played in her honor.
I got chills.
I know. It's such a good song. So they played that and honored her at the wedding. Oh. Okay, so after almost a year after the murders in 2005, the police decided to release the evidence about the cigarette butts.
Yeah, I think it's about time.
Yeah. Like,
let's get cracking.
Somebody's got to know something. And they thought maybe it would bring forward somebody from the locals and say, oh my gosh, yeah, I know somebody who smokes that. And boy, were they right.
This is John Brassard Jr., the kitchen table historian. Despite what the name might imply, this is not a podcast about food. At my table, I'm going to tell you the stories that your grandma didn't want you to hear. You'll be served tales of mass murder, family annihilators, and long-forgotten homicides, not to mention stories of ghosts, legends, and the paranormal. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, and all of your other favorite podcatchers. So take a seat, make yourself comfortable. Do we have a story to tell you?
Okay, so 0.1% of DNA is unique to individuals. The rest is the same for all humans. Isn't that crazy? 1/10 of 1%.
1/10. That's math I can't even do.
It's tiny.
It's tiny.
Tiny. But that 1/10 of 1% is crucial. So that portion can identify one's ethnic identity.
Oh.
Researchers found that the assailant was white AF.
That's what the DNA read. That's how it was printed out of the computer.
This boy, full on cracker. Yes. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
So he's very white. He was all European descent.
I was going to say blonde hair, blue eyes, pale skin, burns easily.
Perfect. Is it you? I think it's you. Yep. So blue or green eyes, light colored hair, like you said. And they, along with the information with the cigarettes, they also revealed this info to the public. So they're like, these are the cigarettes he smokes. This is what he probably looks like.
Also probably brags about other douchey things. Just FYI.
Probably. So there's a man living just 2 miles away from the scene of the crime who saw the report. And it's at this point he realized he had made too many mistakes. Mm-hmm. So on a Tuesday night, all the detectives working the case had left for the day. Eric Koppel, along with his new wife, Lily, showed up at the police station, and he turned himself in.
No, it was at it was at their wedding that they honored her.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Light hair, blue-eyed Eric at first gave no motive, but it later came out he suffered deeply from depression. And he'd been suicidal his entire life. I know, I see your...
I'm still waiting for the connection. How does that
make one want to murder? Right, exactly. But, okay, so apparently before being married, when Eric and Lily were engaged and planning a wedding in Hawaii, Lily ended up calling it off. And her best friend, Adriane, had told Lily that Eric wasn't good enough for her. And she had convinced her over and over again, this is what Eric thought anyway, that he wasn't good enough. So instead, when the wedding was canceled, Lily and Adriane instead planned a friend's trip to Australia instead of the wedding. So Eric is pissed.
And he's pissed at Adriane? Oh, man. Well, this will definitely convince her that he's good enough.
Right.
Well, if you're willing to murder me to marry my friend, obviously your intentions are true.
Right. Obviously, you'll love me.
This is some messed up logic.
So messed up.
Okay.
And that she ends up marrying him later. Like,
Because not just because her friend wasn't there to talk her out of it.
Right.
But because it's like a life is short thing.
Right.
Holy crap. Okay.
But obviously, Adriane was right this guy had some issues.
Damn. She didn't know how right she was.
She had no idea. Yeah. So on that fateful Halloween night, Eric had run into Lily at a Halloween party and they'd argued. And the fight enraged Eric even more than he already was, that they had canceled their wedding. So he decided to get revenge on the women he felt had ruined his life, which he figured Leslie's probably involved in it too. Actually, I kind of think he thought it was Lauren. Was it Lauren? There was one of them he didn't know. I have it down here somewhere. But decided to get revenge, and he likely sat outside the house, scoping it out, smoking cigarettes before building up the courage and anger enough to carry out
Just
the
sitting
attack.
outside seething.
Oof. So frustratingly, when police had asked Lauren if she knew anyone that smoked, so this is the surviving roommate.
Right, okay.
They asked her, do you know anyone? She said, the only person I can think of is Eric Koppel. So they had his
knew
name.
him.
She knew him.
Oh my
That's right. It was Leslie. He
God.
didn't know. So investigators had called him in the beginning and tried to call him in, I guess, left messages for him, but he never called back, and they failed to follow up.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, so finally, after his arrest, a DNA sample proved he was a match for the DNA found at the murder scene. Mind-blowing, right?
How upset is his wife?
Right.
Lily.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, her best friend.
Her best friend. This is her husband.
You find out
my God.
afterwards. Ooh, that'd ruin your psyche, I think. So
You married the guy who killed your friend. I mean, I
married and killed her, right?
Okay.
So Adrian's mom, Arlene, who, she was the one that attended Eric and Lily's wedding, she's relieved when she finds out the killer's found, but then she finds out who it is. And she is
Demands her wedding present back.
devastated. Seriously, I want my toaster back. Give me my
Exactly.
freaking toaster back.
Oh my God.
Jesus. And she was at the, and they were honoring her. I don't know. Just hurtful. So
Seriously.
then there's Leslie, the beauty queen. Her family's like totally confused. Why did he attack her? And he hadn't even met her. So I think he intended it to be Lauren. I don't think he realized there was a third room there.
Yeah. Or he went up the stairs and
Yeah.
it was night. It was dark. Did he
Right.
think
Did
that was
he
Adrian's
just confuse
room?
it? Right.
And then heard Adrian went, oh shit, this isn't even the right girl.
Right.
God, I suck. Like,
So then he just kills whoever's there. Yeah.
oh shit.
Yeah. And it does say here, police think he likely thought Leslie was actually Lauren in the dark house and
Oh, my
killed her
God.
since she too was friends with
Right.
Lily.
Didn't realize there was a third. Oh my God.
Yeah. As for Lily, Adrian's best friend, she believed Eric killed because of his intense depression.
She did not. She is not standing by him.
She a little
She
bit.
is not. You stop it right now.
Stop it, girl. I know she
No.
needs Adrian there to talk to her about it. Be like, girl,
Oh my God. Yeah. She needs someone to. Oh my God.
slap some sense into her.
Well, Adrian was trying to talk her out of marrying
Right.
this guy that wasn't good enough for her. So her judgment might be a little
Right.
impaired. And now there's a lot of trauma going on. So it's further impaired.
So much trauma. Yeah.
Shit.
So Eric, when they asked him why he did it, he blamed, this is great. He blamed the murders on the death of his grandfather, which had sent him into a deep depression, and that he had tried to self-medicate away with alcohol, and that he had decided to kill himself, but instead turned himself in to bring closure to the case. How kind of him. None of that makes sense to me as to
I'm sorry. How does that tie into the girls at all?
right, exactly.
At all. I mean, I thought you were going to say he was going to kill himself, but what, he slipped and hit them instead? I don't understand. What are you talking about? That doesn't make any
Right. He never really gave a good motive for it. But so in January of 2007, Eric was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility to parole because he took a plea deal, which took the death penalty off the table, which also confuses me because I'm like, dude, you said you were so depressed you wanted to die, but you don't want
Right.
to.
But now he doesn't.
Apparently. But this is interesting, another little interesting tidbit. So the date of the killings was not a coincidence. The next day, November 1st, was the day Eric and Lily had originally planned to marry before she backed out. So
And it was technically after midnight.
Yep.
So it was November 1st.
It was. And it was their original wedding date. And also, he had attended both vigils and both the vigil and both funerals too.
Ew.
I know. And Lily had been interviewed after the deaths by like a news reporter and, saying, who do you think could have done it? And she's like, I don't know. It can't be someone close to us because I would have noticed somebody acting strange, at funerals or something. He must have been really good at hiding shit. Or she was just not.
I don't really trust her judgment.
Yeah. Maybe she just wasn't good at, maybe too trusting. I don't know. But,
yeah, obviously. Oh,
I know. Isn't that horrible?
God.
So that's the story of
Holy
the
shit.
three girls.
I feel like if I didn't watch the episode, I watched a commercial for it. Like this Friday on 2020.
Right.
I was like, I should watch that.
Ooh, that sounds like a good one.
I feel like, because I don't remember what happened whatsoever, and I don't know who the killer was, but the three girls.
Yes. In the
and
house
one,
together.
Yeah. That rings a bell. So I'm guessing I probably just watched a preview.
Yeah.
But that's really good.
I know. Isn't that crazy that it was him?
God.
It just mind blowing. That it's the best friend's husband. So sad.
And they had survived a serious accident together previously.
Right. Best friends for years, did everything together, and that he would supposedly love her so much that he would take somebody she loved so much away,
Unbelievable.
Like, let me make your life worse.
Definitely wasn't good enough.
No.
Freaking lootly.
Adriane was really freaking right. Smart girl.
Shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you want to hear my sources?
Oh, I do.
Of course you do.
I really do. Trying to see if I'll recognize any of the commercials. Hold on.
Yeah, right. So this one's interesting. LauriaJohnston.medium.com. So I should look to see. I think she might have been a medium. So I don't know if she does reports. I should look back at that and look further. But I got info from her. ForensicFilesNow.com.
Yep,
ABCNews.go.com. And the Forensic Files episode, season 12. Forensic Files episode from season 12, episode 15, called Good as Gold, because the gold band on the cigarettes was little crowns
That's a
made
stretch.
of gold. It took me forever to figure it out. I was like, good as gold.
What?
Where does the gold come in? And then I finally figured, they were talking about the gold band of crowns on the cigarettes. But
Yeah.
they really need our help. That's all I can say. They need our help with their titles.
No. And maybe they tied it in with the fact that they got married, so gold wedding bands, maybe.
Yeah.
I still feel like it's a stretch.
It's all a stretch, absolutely.
I love me some Forensic Files, but some of their titles are really a stretch.
Absolutely. You did one too that was like, it made no sense.
Yes, right?
Last week's? Yeah.
I think, All the World's a Stage or something like that. Well, and the story, remember I said there was a story I was going to do, but then I was like, it's not really going to make a good full episode or whatever.
Oh, right.
But I liked it because the episode was called Hair of the Dog. And I thought, one dog. Cool. What's this about, right?
Yeah.
And yes, they were able to like initially link something by realizing the victim's, there was dog hair in the car and the victim had a dog. But the dog really didn't have anything to do with how they solved it. And the funny part is they even went into, and they, in the little preview thing, they talked about how the prints that a dog's nose can make on glass is the same as like a fingerprint. Like every dog's nose is, and I was like,
that'd be amazing.
So they talked about it, but then they're like, but
it has nothing to do with this.
So I was like,
this has nothing to do with
what?
this.
What?
See, and I was thinking hair of the dog, like a drink the next morning after a hangover. Did that have something,
Also, would it? No. It was about the dog, the victim's dog. But that's not even how they solved the case. Like I was just like,
they were just like, we need something good.
Really reaching here. Like this is, again, I love me some Forensic Files, but someone else has to name their episodes.
Someone needs help naming episodes.
Oh, jeez.
Hey Oddies, thanks for listening to another episode of ODFM. If you're a longtime listener, hey, we cannot thank you enough for your continued support. And if you're a new listener, thanks for giving us a try. If you like us, please drop us a like, subscribe, or rate us so we can share our stories with more people around the world. And if you'd like more information, like links to our podcast and socials, along with our Patreon fan page, those links are all on Linktree under ODFM Podcast. That's linktr.ee/ODFM Podcast. Side note, you guys, we're obsessed with fan art, and we love making things with it, like stickers for our fans. So if you'd like us to use your designs, send it to us at odfmpodcast@gmail.com, and if we use your design, we'll be sure to send you a sticker.
Thanks for listening to another episode of ODFM, hosted by Kelly DeVries and Jenna Swanson. Production and editing by Kelly DeVries. Theme music by Eric Swanson. ODFM is a satirical true crime podcast for entertainment purposes only. The stories you hear are serious and true. The comments and opinions are not. We apologize if any of our content is harmful or disrespectful.